Well, the battle for playoff positioning continues, and in this game, it's a rivalry game between the Plainedge Red Devils and the Golden Eagles of Bethpage. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Howie Voigt Stadium at Bethpage High School. Matt Shortis and Mike Hungerford with you, and Mike, both these teams coming in at 3-1. Plainedge will kick off, but again, year after year, you could throw the records out when these two teams play.
The backyard brawl here, Plainedge and Bethpage, and fighting for a pretty big, important position in the playoffs. Let's see what happens here today. Should be a good game, hard hitting, a lot of action.
These two teams or schools separated by about a 10 minutes drive on the Seaford Oyster Bay, and Plainedge will kick it away. Bethpage has it, taking it from about the 10-yard line. Good return out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And the Golden Eagles here on Senior Day will start with possession moving left to right. Bethpage coached by Roddy McCoy in his second year as the head football coach here at Bethpage. He's been in the program for a long time. 94 graduate of Bethpage, was actually part of the 93 team that won the first ever LIC for the Golden Eagles under head coach Howie Voigt. And also the lacrosse coach here for the last few years. Zach Schnabel will lead this team out offensively. Schnabel back after missing last week, as a whole bunch of Golden Eagles missed last week's game against Limbrook. Handoff off to the left side, and about a yard pickup there. So we'll take a look at the rest of the Bethpage starters in what they can either go with a kind of wishbone or a wing T type offense, or even a spread offense. So Pat Dalton and Donovan Martinez will split time at running back. Mike Corbo, the fullback. Two tight ends are James David and James Martin. And then the line from left to right will be Colin Hervey, Luke Carney, Stephen Testani, James Jensen, and Christian Waters. Second down and 9 after the minimal gain on first down. Handoff off right side, just in that little A gap, and they pick up about 3 yards to make it third down and 6 coming up. Plainedge defense, they will show a 4-3 front with Lascala and Tuzo as the defensive ends, Everding and Morello inside. A good linebacking core and pretty young as well. Shane Moja, a sophomore, Antonacci and Pepe are the linebackers, both juniors. Corners are Cavallari and Franger, and the two safeties are Chris Stevens and Joe Iadavio. So third and long for Bethpage. They ran it on the first two plays. We'll see. Now they go a little bit more spread. Look over the middle, but a pass thrown behind the intended target, Connor Burns, and that'll bring up fourth down, Mike.
Here we go. Bethpage came out in their traditional wishbone offense, double tight, ran two plays, to a blast and an inside play, came back breaking the spread formation a little into a spread formation and trips and throwing an incompletion. So it looks like on fourth and about almost 8, they'll be back in punting formation right now. So a pretty good start for the Plainedge defense.
Two players back to receive for Plainedge at their own 35-yard line. Low, wobbly end over run kick taken at the 45, but then hammered right there by Colin Hervey. Excellent job in special teams, but Plainedge will have good starting field position for their first possession of the game.
Yeah, Plainedge kind of flipped the field a little bit there, got a 3 and out. Bethpage starting and relatively inside their own 30-yard line, and they flipped the field a little bit and have great starting field position on their own 45, and definitely a contrast of styles we'll see here, Matt, in terms of offenses from both teams.
So starting quarterback today will be Joe Iadavio. There was some question as to whether Travis Shaver would be starting today. He was game time decision, so it looks like, at least at the moment, he will not play. And Iadavio gets gobbled up right away. Bethpage sideline trying to say there was a fumble there, but it looks like it'll just be a loss of 1. So we'll take a look at the Plainedge starting offense. It's Iadavio, you heard from at quarterback. Joe Leone, the running back. The wide receivers will be Cavallari, Gentili, Lascala, and Franger. And the line from left to right will be Chadwick, Whitten, Tom Everding, Vin Petzold, and Sal Cunha. Loss of 1. Leone goes in motion. Iadavio looking to the right side. Had a receiver, just a little thrown behind Gentili. Would have been good enough for a first down, but instead falls incomplete.
Had a good look there. Ball a little bit behind them, but well-designed play right there. Wide open receiver in the seam there.
Bethpage defense, 4-4 front for the Golden Eagles. Waters and Carney are the ends. Hervey and Jensen inside. The outside backers are Martinez and Luzzy. Corbo and David are the inside backers. Martin and Galgano the corners, and Pat Dalton is the free safety. So a bit of a defensive contest to start here. 3rd and long for the Red Devils. Well, handoff left side, well read by Bethpage, and Christian Waters the first to get there. And that'll go for a loss of 4.
Now, I was lucky enough to be last time to see Bethpage play against Lynbrook.
Yep.
I was very impressed with the Bethpage defense. I know the Plainedge defense is very good as well. Will be winding up to be a defensive battle here right now. Each team with 3 great plays defensively.
A little different feel to it than the game you were a part of last night.
A lot of points scored. Last night.
Well, sorry to bring that up on such short notice. They yell fire and everybody gets away. So field position battle early on. We've played a little bit more than 3 minutes. No score between Bethpage and Plainedge. And Mike, both these teams again coming in at 3-1 on the season, which normally you think, all right, we're off to a good start, but all of a sudden, because of this truncated season, you only have a couple games left to play. So this game is really, really big because the loser of this game almost has to put themselves in a position where they have to win next week. Manhasset in this league seems clear. They're 4-0 coming into this contest. But if you look, Bethpage after this game, they play Roosevelt, so not an easy game. So whoever wins this game is sitting pretty for playoff position. Whoever loses this game, it's almost do or die next week.
In some ways it is, in a shortened 6-game season and not everybody getting a full 6 games in depending on the COVID situation. All the wins really matter for seeding. There's only 4 teams that make in the playoffs.
1st and 10, handoff right up the gut. And a few yard pickup.
Bethpage in their wishbone set, going to try to create some balance offensively, running inside, outside, left and right, trying to keep the defense guessing a little bit, running it up inside with the fullback right there.
And it was something they decided to switch back to a little bit last week with how many guys they had out last week. They had 15 players out, called up a bunch of JV guys, and went a little bit more back to the wishbone where they had started the season in spread. Handoff right side, well designed or well read, diagnosed by Plainedge.
Plainedge doing a good job of scraping over the top there and getting to the ball carrier, trying to bounce it outside a little bit. And Plainedge pursuit got to him pretty fast. They actually lost maybe about half a yard there.
The sophomore Shane Moshe, first one to the ball carrier there. And this is a young Plainedge team, only 5 or 6 seniors on the roster. I mean, and this sophomore linebacker core, Rob Shaver said he's probably going to be a Piner Award winner in a couple of years.
That's a major statement from a veteran coach like Coach Shavers. Had a lot of great players in his program, seen a lot of great players on Long Island. And that's a major statement. That's very impressive.
3rd and 9 for the Golden Eagles after that stop. Shotgun formation for Schnabel. He's going to air it out down the left side of the field. A lot of contact and a flag down as they were looking for Dalton. Seemed a little incidental, but Vinny Cavallari, I guess he didn't quite turn his head all the way around, but there's a flag down, and we'll see what the penalty is.
Plainedge brought some pressure, and Schnabel was able to get the ball off right before it got a little heavy pressure on him, and the ball was up in the air, and it's in the referee's eyes as to are you playing the ball, you're playing the man, is there contact, what's going on there? So it appears that Bethpage will get a first down out of it.
So our first down of the game will come via a pass interference. Well, now they're walking the ball back a little bit, or they're marking it from where the line of scrimmage had been. So it will be a first down for Bethpage.
Sure, in high school football, those are not automatic first downs. It has to be marked off. So per se, if the yardage was beyond 10 yards, it might not be a first down, but they did have to count it off there. Unlike what you see in the NFL and in college, they had to mark it off and give them the first down.
So Bethpage has it 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Handoff up the gut for Dalton. Dalton bringing a couple of guys with him and picks up about 5. Nice job keeping his legs going after that initial contact.
Didn't get to see Dalton play when I was here to watch the call the Lindbergh game, and very impressive athlete, and runs very hard, and it'll be major good offensive line play right there. Whenever you're in the wishbone, you can get 5 yards on first down. Playbook kind of opens up a little bit for you, and Bethpage might be pretty close to 4-down territory the way they played here.
James David, the lone receiver, split out near side, and Dalton tried to go up the gut, bounced outside, and well covered by Plainedge. And I think that was Mozia again on the tackle.
Plainedge is basically trying to cover up the majority of the Bethpage offensive linemen, which gives the linebackers a pretty clean scrape to the ball. Dalton didn't see too much inside on the bounce. The scraping backers were able to get him coming over the top. Whenever you play this wishbone kind of an offense, your defense has to morph a little bit. See a lot of spread these days in various teams, but in the wishbone, you have to adjust a little bit and bring some more people into the box to handle that double tight set.
How tough is that week of practice where you're so used to seeing spread on a weekly basis now and all of a sudden a different look?
You have to have your scout team be able to run it correctly, and it's not easy. There's a lot of timing involved, and both teams probably have great, Plainedge with a great scout group.
Shotgun look for Schnabel up in the air, and it's knocked down, well covered by Cavallari. So Cavallari, who got bit on the pass interference call a moment ago, comes up with a big 3rd down stop, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It bowls up in the air pretty good. Cavallari was able to go back and make a play on it, get a hand on it, knock it down. Very nice defensive play. And looks like 4th down. It looks like Bethpage will be punting here, trying to flip the field position here, and pin the Plainedge guys back deep.
A little past midway point of the first quarter, no score, and definitely, again, has been a field position game so far. Plainedge will get it for the second time today. A muff punt. Gets a little bit of a Bethpage roll, so it'll roll inside the 30 and stop its progress at about the 25.
Looks like that ball might have came off the side of his foot there a little bit. But, high school punting, it's all over the place sometimes. And as long as it works to your advantage, it goes off at an interesting angle and hits and rolls and gets some good yardage out of it.
Yeah, James Jensen was trying to will it forward with a little body English.
Bleed that thing out. All the yards you can get out of it.
Yeah, when you have, at the high school level, if you have a real high-level punter or a kicker, it is a great luxury to have.
Absolutely. At the high school level, if you can kick, kicking game is a big part of the game.
1st and 10 for Plainedge from their own 26-yard line. Run up the middle. And I think that's the longest play from scrimmage that we've had from either team today, as Leone able to pick up about 9.5 there on 1st down.
It's a nice offensive line play there by Plainedge, getting their blocks, and he's able to kind of wind it back a little bit. In the zone, the kind of a zone right play, and he's able to wind it back left in the cutback lane, which is part of the blocking scheme of zone, is trying to get those cutback lanes.
Rob Shaver, his head coach, is a real good zone runner. There's Cavallari going in motion. Back it goes to Leone. This time it's well read by Bethpage, and they're ready for it.
That time Bethpage had good penetration up front, and he wasn't able to he wound it back kind of quick, and the penetration got to him deep in the backfield. So loss of a couple there, and we have 3rd and a long 2, almost 3.
Jensen and Waters in on the stop. Mike Corbo there as well for Bethpage. And a big stop that makes it 3rd and 2 as opposed to going for a 1st down conversion.
Plainedge has brought number 68 into the backfield. Tossing it, trying to run the corner.
His right side for Pepe, and Pepe comes close to the 1st down. It looks like they do have it. So using some speed on the outside from the junior Dylan Pepe.
Tossed that ball and kind of stormed the corner there a little bit and got a hat on a hat and got a 1st down for them. A little more than was needed, just enough. Same formation.
A bunched backfield give right up the gut. I believe that was Pepe again on the carry.
Plainedge kind of going quick there, right, to get the 1st down. They get the ball spotted. They get up over the ball in the same formation. Instead of tossing it, they hand it off inside. A little blast type play. Staying in this formation here with these three backs.
And Dylan Pepe, he missed last week's game after being exposed at Bosie's and ended up testing positive. But okay today as he picks up another 7 yards here for first down, and all of a sudden Plainedge finding a little bit of rhythm offensively.
He found a little rhythm here out of the power eye, but they were in. That's a power eye personnel in, and kind of ran it at him. Kind of got them moving a little bit. They just changed personnel. Seemed like they were in a bunch set here. To their right, their left defense is right.
First down right at midfield. 3:05 to go in the first quarter. No score here at Bethpage High School between Plainedge and Bethpage. Joe Iadavio with Joe Leone to his left. Give to Leone off right side. Leone almost broke off a big one. That was a huge tackle by James David. Otherwise, that one might have been for a large gain.
Plainedge pulling a lineman there, running a little power. Getting a nice 4-yard gain right there out of it. See pulling that left guard there.
So Pat Whitten coming over to the right side.
Big boy at 270 pounds.
He's the only returning starter from last year's offensive line. This pass complete to Lascala. Lascala bringing 2-3 guys with him. He's still on his feet. All the way down to the 35-yard line.
Nice route run there by Lascala. Sitting down. Run a little sit-down route. Getting up the field. Very good-looking athlete, Lascala. Big kid, athletic.
Plenty of time to throw as well for Iadavio. Lascala 6', 205. He's going to play tight end at Utica next year.
Used him as a lineman last year, right? They moved him to the offensive line. They're back to the tight end spot now.
Give to the left side for Leone. Bethpage had it diagnosed, but Leone still able to pick up a couple there.
Plainedge working out of it. Many different formations offensively. Plainedge jumping around a little bit, trying to find things that work for him. Little pro set there. Run towards Lascala on the tight end side left.
Pepe going out as they go empty backfield with 5 wide as Steven Franger coming back in with 2nd and 8. Iadavio's got plenty of time, just kind of babies one out to the flat to Gentili. It's complete. So a small pickup there, and it'll be a 3rd and short.
I think what happened there was the play was there was a little bit of an error in some of the routes that were ran there, and that's a quarterback and a receiver just kind of making a play and getting some yardage out of nothing there. And that's going to happen every once in a while. There's going to be mistakes made, and football a game of who makes the least mistakes, and quarterback to receiver. Nice play there.
And Joe Iadavio, again, making his first career varsity start at quarterback. He was the JV quarterback last year, but through the first 4 games this season, had been wide receiver with Shaver at QB. Run right up the middle for Leone, and Leone almost broke that one free. Tackled at the 20-yard line, so a pickup of 9 as this drive continues for Plainedge as we're inside of a minute to go in the first.
That's a really nice play for the first down right there by Plainedge. Just getting some zone and letting Leone find the soft spot and find the hole. Really, really nice drive here being set up by the Red Devils. What a mix of run and pass, keeping the defense off balance, change of formations.
Bethpage fans were getting a little restless because the chain crew was taking their time to move, so I guess they felt like Plainedge was having some extra time to figure out what they wanted to do offensively. And now the clock will run. Plainedge may let this just run out with only 16 seconds remaining. And then they'll switch fields and start things off for the second quarter. We shall see. 10 seconds. They do snap the ball. Handoff right side for Leone. Leone breaks it free down inside the 5. Ball came out, though, and the official is saying that he was down before the ball came out. We'll take another look at it here.
Another nice run by Leone. Making a cut, finding the soft spot in the zone action, getting north-south, putting his pads down. Oh, boy, that was close. But, Matt, in the referee's defense, they don't have instant replay.
For sure. We'll take another look at it when we come back. First quarter in the books. No score, but Plainedge threatening as we begin the second quarter. When we come back here on Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Today's game was brought to you by Optimum Pest Control. Protect your home with a company you can trust. 15% off mosquito service until May 1st. Call them at 516-509-8362. And got dirt, got stains, got stink? Get the Steam Squad. Book now, get 10% off when you mention this ad. SteamSquad.com or 516-567-8966. Welcome back to Bethpage High School. Matt Shortitz, Mike Hungerford with you. And though a scoreless first quarter, entertaining first quarter, as Plainedge has put together a nice little offensive drive here that started back on their own 30-yard line, and they are threatening as we begin the first and begin the second. And Mike maybe getting the benefit of not having replay at the high school level.
We're able to sit up here in the press box and get a little look at things, and kind of looked like that ball might have been on the ground. And we're not really, kind of mad it came out early. But, of course, the officials are working in live time only, and there's no challenge flag in high school football, no red challenge flag. So we move on, and to the Red Devils' credit, they put together a really nice drive here.
And again, another look at this last one with Leone carrying. It looked like the ball did come out before he went down. And it looked like that might have been Pat Dalton to knock that loose, but does not count as they will give the ball up the gut to Pepe. And Pepe falling forward. It looks like he's in, and now we have a touchdown signal.
Plainedge going back to that power I set. Running left off tackle. Pounding it in there for a touchdown with Pepe.
So far for Plainedge, nice little two-headed monster at the running back spot between Leone and Pepe. And Pepe using the 6'1", 175 pounds, and just able to go right up the middle. And now on for the point after, and it is good. So Plainedge will take a 7-0 lead, 8 seconds gone by in the second quarter. We'll be back in a moment here on Varsity Media Sports Network. And Plainedge just went about 69 yards to score that touchdown and take a 7-0 lead here on the road at Bethpage High School. Matt Shortitz, Mike Hungerford with you. And after that, Plainedge will kick it off. It'll be Rojas. And a low line drive kick. Picked up at the 15-yard line. Out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. So I guess, Mike, as a coach, right, on either side of this thing, for Plainedge, you might have got away with one, end up scoring a touchdown. If you're the coach on Bethpage, what are you saying to your guys right now, saying, hey, maybe we caught a bad break. How do we get back into this?
You just got to move forward. You can't get the plays over again. You can't get downs over again. You got to move forward, and they scored, and we got the ball now. We have another opportunity to get a drive going, and kind of like no looking back, right? In a game like this, rivalry game, you got to just keep playing down by down.
So 1st and 10 for Bethpage as we are still just seconds into the second quarter. A lot of game ahead of us. Zach Schnabel, senior, catcher on the baseball team. Play action. Schnabel rolling to his left, looking for a receiver, and overthrew his intended target, James David, just slightly.
Battle in the trenches so far. Matt, it looks like that, a little bit, Plainedge had a little more of the advantage. Obviously, their offensive line was able to get a drive going predominantly with the running game. And Bethpage is kind of trying to establish that themselves. Came out with a little play action on first down, try to get a little change up, and see what they bring out here on second down.
Another look at that last one. Good coverage by Aya DeVio. Second down and 10. Pitch left side for Dalton. Again, well diagnosed. And Chris Stevens coming up with the stop.
That's a really nice play defensively right there, getting off the block, squaring himself up, getting downhill, and wrapping up the ball carrier. Nice play.
5'10" senior, 170 pounds. Also a baseball player for Plainedge.
You're going to play good run defense when your safety's able to come downhill and make plays like that at the line of scrimmage.
So Schnabel in shotgun. Pressure coming, and he's just got to throw it away.
Looked like they had a screen set up there, Matt, and the ball kind of was over the receiver's head out of bounds. Unfortunate for Bethpage. 3 and out here. A little bit of pressure will be put on the Bethpage defense now, having to get back on the field.
Yeah, so a long drive put together by Plainedge, and then a 3 and out here for Bethpage. So this defense, not exactly tired, but they've just been on the field for a long time and got a very short rest. So Schnabel kicking it away. Better kick this time. Goes over the 2 deep men for Plainedge. Takes a Bethpage bounce all the way down to the 20-yard line. Leone able to get it out across the 30. Picks up about 12 on or returns it for about 12 yards.
That was a really nice play by Leone. 12-yard return. That's 1 first down if you're thinking about it, moving the ball wise, right? He just saved the first down by getting 12 yards back on the return.
And that was the way he fielded that too. Ball is taking all of his momentum away towards the sideline, kind of a bouncing ball. Most time high school coaches will say, just get away from that thing. He's able to pick it up, turn field, and get 12 yards out of that.
I think he felt a little bit safe because, was by the sidelines. If he kind of muffs it a little bit, maybe it goes out of bounds. And I thought that was a good decision. You obviously trust your players, and you let them go.
So timeout taken on the field. As I was asking both coaches about this yesterday, right? Like I'm sure you have. If you think about Farmingdale and Freeport or Farmingdale and Massapequa, and there are games I'm sure that automatically jump to your mind of games that you've coached in. And Roddy McCoy, the Bethpage head coach, was talking about some games that he can remember. And Rob Shaver, I said, "What are some of your fondest memories?" He's like, "I can remember when it felt like we would never beat them." And he said 2001 was the first time we finally beat Bethpage, and it was like instantaneous. He didn't even have to think about it.
Sure, it's a great moment. We know Plainedge at that time, Bethpage was a dominant power in the conference, and Coach Coach Shaver trying to turn the corner, and you're able to do that. That's something you'll never forget as a coach. And the players who played for him in that game, they'll never forget it either.
So, I guess they called a penalty on Plainedge. I don't know how we missed that.
I think what happened there was, Matt, Plainedge might have been offsides, and it gave him a 4th down and short, and Bethpage decided to go for it.
And it looks like they're going to be a yard short, though, from where we are. Or at least a couple chain links, but it's close.
Coaches are allowed to ask for a measurement if they think it's close, and whether they asked for it, Bethpage, or the referees felt it was a good decision.
So on the far side, it looks like it's a hair's breadth over the 37-yard line. And the nose of the football where we are on the near hash is probably just touching that 37-yard line. So it's going to be pretty close.
Very close. Official on today's game, Vinny Oliva, his crew, one of the better crews in Nassau County, and we'll see what they get here.
And you heard some groans from the home side, and the Plainedge players are letting you know what it is. It is a turnover on downs.
Just short of the sticks.
Yeah, so that might have been 2 or 3 chain links. It was close.
Could be a momentum kind of play here right now. Turnover down, the Bethpage defense coming, on the field, and here comes the Plainedge offense, and see what it brings here.
So sort of a strange scenario where a penalty actually ends up netting the team about 25 yards. Because they were looking at 1st and 10 from the 30, but the penalty has them in Bethpage territory to start this off. 10 minutes to go in the first half. 7-0 Plainedge leads. Here's Aya DeVio keeping it himself. Rolls off one tackle, keeps the pile going. And now we will have forward progress blown dead. And a gain of about 6 or 5 on first down for Aya DeVio.
Yep, running wrap for the quarterback there. And commonly run base plays out of a spread offense for quarterback run. It's quarterback wrap. And you had the tackle pulling around. A nice 6-yard gain on first down.
And again, Aya DeVio making his first career varsity start. It started last year at the junior varsity level. Aya DeVio running in space, has a receiver, and it's complete to La Scala. There's a flag down in the backfield, so we will see what the penalty marker is.
Bethpage defensive line was doing a great job trying to keep the quarterback in the pocket and contain the edge, and he might have forced the Plainedge player to hold him. Looks like it's going back.
Yep. And again, at the high school level, that holding is a spot foul. So it'll be, the marker was at the 37-yard line, or the 34-yard line, pardon me. So they'll back them up towards the 44. So it will be, let's see, they have to get to the 27 for a first down.
I didn't get his number of the Plainedge defensive lineman, but what a nice job of trying to battle for that edge, and where he was ripping through. Obviously, forced a hold and moves the ball back for Plainedge.
So 2nd and 17, Aya DeVio running this time to his right, floats one over to Gentili, and Gentili receives it. A pickup to the 30-yard line.
Nice play design there. Quarter rolling away from pressure to the 3-receiver side. Plainedge running a bit of a flood route there with 3 receivers all to the sideline. And a 10-yard out is open. Nice completion. Gives him a nice manageable 3rd down and about long 4, almost 5. And maybe even 2 downs here. They could go for on 4th and short.
A nice job by La Scala, the tight end, coming over all the way from the left side of the line to throw in another block. Here's a run off to the right side for Leone. Leone is close to a first down as he's down at the 27-yard line. Looks like he's about half a yard short.
Well, that's a first down. They're going to move those chains.
Yeah. And how about on the right side, Dylan Pepe, who we've seen a few times as a featured ball carrier, thrown in the extra block.
He's playing tight end right there, extending the line of scrimmage, making Bethpage have to defend an extra gap. Double tight here. 2 tight ends with 2 receivers.
So we get some motion on the left side of the Bethpage line. Colin Hervey might have jumped a hair early.
If you look at the Plainedge offensive line, the tackles are pretty lighter, very athletic players, and the guards are bigger, heavier guys on the inside. And they even have a freshman starting on the offensive line there, right guard, in Vin Petzold.
He's the first freshman ever to play for Rob Shaver as a lineman. That's in 24 seasons. Keeper this time for Aya DeVio. Aya DeVio, pardon me.
Kind of slipped there on the cut.
Plus of 1 on the play. 2nd down.
pulling 2 linemen there, running a little guard tackle play.
Nice job by Brian Luzzy to shed his blocker and make the stop.
Guard tackle now has become very fashionable. College football, Oklahoma running it, making it very fashionable. It's made its way down to the high school level. Power I.
Give to the deep back in Pepe. And Pepe picks up another 3 there. It'll be 3rd down and 3 coming up. How much as you guys as coaches kind of try and keep track of trends like that to see what could be incorporated into what you're already doing?
I think a lot of it trickles down, over time to the high school level. Obviously, the spread offense on Long Island and things like that happening, and Coach Shaver picking up on a lot of things being done at the other level and running them himself.
3rd down and 3 again. That I formation. Pepe right side give has a 1st down. Takes 2 Golden Eagles to bring him down. And Pat Dalton and James Martin were there to make the stop, but moving the chains for Plainedge with about 6:20 remaining in the first half.
Driving over here today, I'm thinking about what I'm going to see with the contrasting offense, Plainedge in the spread and Bethpage in the wishbone. And Plainedge has come out here and they're in the power I, almost a very power offense, just like Bethpage.
And they go right back to it. Here's Pepe, left side, and nice stop by Mike Corbo for Bethpage. Yeah, I mean, in part because Travis Shaver is out of action today, their starting quarterback. But we've seen Iadivio throw the ball really well in the times that he's been asked to do it. But it's almost like Plainedge came into this with the game plan of let's control the ball, keep it away from Bethpage, and really dominate time of possession if we can.
Sure, I think they came out and they've been running some of their spread formational plays, and they found something that works here, and they just kind of go with it.
Man in motion is Gentili. Iadivio looks to the left side, has his receiver in Cavallari. Cavallari, a flag down near him. And Dalton thought he had him tackled, but he didn't, and he comes in. But the play seemed to be blown dead beforehand. There was some confusion. It seemed like guys stopped playing. I didn't quite hear a whistle.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it appeared that there was a man in motion Plainedge, and he might have turned up early. Illegal shift penalty. So he motioned across the formation. They were throwing a bubble screen out there to the receiver that was already there. And that man in motion was going to give an extra blocker. And I think he got north and south a little early.
Well, in that situation, as a coach, I'm sure you'd prefer the referees to blow that play dead as soon as possible then. Especially in a season where we've seen, it seems like injuries have been up and guys have missed games.
For a variety of reasons, COVID's been obviously a looming issue for every team playing on Long Island this year.
Give to the left side for Leone. Leone, a guy on his back, and he's brought down after a short gain. So Waters making the stop, limits it to about 2 yards.
It's a nice defensive line play for Bethpage there at the point of attack, and we only try to wind it back, and the guys playing their half of the field and we're able to make the tackle. Interesting play right here, Matt. It's 3rd and 12. Could be a big stop here for Bethpage if they're able to contain Plainedge.
Lascala in the backfield. Lascala throws one good block. Iadivio throws it, intercepted by Bethpage. Brian Luzzy in the right spot. And a huge turn of events for the Golden Eagles, as that one seemed to pass the whole way with Lascala in the backfield for an extra blocker. Iadivio scrambling a little bit.
Well, they were kind of running the same play they had success with before. It was out of a trips formation with a quarter roll, and they're running a little bit of a flood trying to get that little bit deeper out pattern open. And Bethpage had a man sitting on it, and it was a nice interception and a big defensive stop for Bethpage.
So a huge turnover for the Golden Eagles, as Plainedge already up 7-0. They really controlled the ball for almost all of this quarter. Less about a minute and a half that Bethpage had it on the 3 and out. And now the Golden Eagles deep in their own territory. trying to find some offense.
Not much success there up front. Trying to keep it inside and get the ball moving a little bit. Got about 2.5 yards there on first down. Plainedge seems very stout up front on the defensive line.
And I know talking to Roddy McCoy, he was talking a little bit about the change in philosophy, right? With Bethpage historically being that wishbone team, changing to a spread or a little bit hybrid. Here's Schnabel. Schnabel will pass the ball right side, and it's incomplete. Iadivio going up and knocking that away.
That was a nice play at the safety spot there. Him jumping up. He's kind of a nice height at 6'3". He was able to get elevated there. Ball just had a little bit more on it. Might have kind of gone over his hand. And might have been a touchdown for Bethpage. But a game of inches here, and on some of these plays, make a big difference.
It's the second pass breakup by Iadivio this afternoon, and it's 3rd down and 8 on the way for Bethpage. Pitch right side. And Dalton able to only get a couple, or Martinez that is. Donovan Martinez, who's coming off a season high last week, he had 152 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He had a great game when I was there last week when they defeated Lynbrook. Donovan Martinez, when Patrick Dalton couldn't play, was unavailable, and have a little difficulty moving the ball right now.
Take another look at this as Pat Dalton has been all over the field for Bethpage, especially on the defensive side. And now, this will likely be a punt, but Bethpage has to start to figure out something offensively. They've had a couple of 3-and-outs. They haven't had a whole lot of positive yardage from scrimmage so far today. And Plainedge, even though the score is only 7-0, they've really held the ball for a long, long time in this game.
Yeah, right now, Plainedge appears took a timeout. Save a little clock. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go before halftime, forcing Bethpage to punt from pretty deep in their own end, assuming they're going to get very good field position, more than likely in Bethpage's half of the field, and try to tack on. It's 7-0. If you coach Shaver, you're probably saying we've dominated play, but it's only 7-0. If you can get one here, make you feel a lot better at halftime.
So good bounce for Bethpage, and that one will go out of bounds. Thought it might have touched Cavallari. And I think some of the Bethpage fans on this side were also thinking that, but it goes out of bounds. So it will be Plainedge ball at the Bethpage 48 with 3:03 to go in the first half.
Like we were just speaking about, Plainedge going to get nice field position on Bethpage's half of the field, and I'll see if they can get a drive going here. I wouldn't say it's 2-minute drill time, but pretty close to getting into it, and see what you get on a couple plays, and then you might be in your 2-minute package, which most teams practice a couple times a week, and are prepared for.
And especially with a short field as well. So 1st and 10 officially marked at the 47-yard line.
Looks like we got Shaver a quarterback.
Yeah, Shaver coming in at quarterback. Empty backfield. Ball squirts loose, but it was incomplete. The official on the far side said LaScala never quite held on to it, or made a football move, if you will.
I think that's a good call. He came down with the ball and spun and didn't really have solid possession. Nice hit put on by the Bethpage defense. Kind of jawed that ball loose. And Travis Shaver in the game.
So Shaver, again, first-year starting quarterback this year, played a whole lot of running back, defensive end, huge part of the Long Island Championship team last year. And maybe Coach Shaver thinking like you in that 2-minute offense, let's get Shaver in there. Perhaps a little bit more of an aerial threat. Shaver rolling to his left, and he finds LaScala again this time. LaScala lowering the shoulder inside the 30 before he's forced out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
And like that, Plainedge in an even set 2x2 with 4 receivers, and Shaver with a little quarter roll. Finds LaScala open, and LaScala finishes off with a real nice stiff arm before going down.
Shaver this time will roll to his right, but a whistle and a flag is down.
Legal procedure penalty against Plainedge.
So this will back Plainedge up a few yards.
Plainedge had gotten that first down. The ball was ruled down in play. They moved base half a change and they started the clock. And I think that Plainedge was trying to get back over the ball and not use a timeout and run a play, and they weren't set correctly.
The other thing with Shaver being in the game now, that slides Iadivio out to his wide receiver slot. As you take a look at Travis Shaver coming into today, those numbers less the Manhasset game, the only loss of the season for Plainedge. Man in motion is Cavallari. Here's Shaver rolling to his right, changes directions back to his left, and he's bottled up pretty well by this Bethpage defense.
On the scramble.
Up right there, Plainedge going with a little, the Red Devils going with a quarter roll out of the quarterback, and he kind of saw the contain being kept there by the defensive end. Nice defensive line play there. And tried to cut it back, and the pursuit got to him. Luke Carney kind of, I think, locking it in there and keeping him from getting the edge.
James Jensen came up with the stop as well. So 2nd down and 14. A minute 45 to go in the first half. 7-0 Plainedge leads off the touchdown from Dylan Pepe. Low snap handled by Shaver. Shaver steps up, hit as he throws, little wobbly pass, and it's knocked away. Looking for Iadivio, well covered as James Martin in coverage.
So they kind of took their time a little bit there. Plainedge got themselves organized, looked at the defense. Nice coverage by Bethpage there, and they came with a little interior blitz package, and maybe forced him to put it up with a little more air under him than he wanted, Shaver. And we have 3rd and 14 here for Plainedge.
This is likely 4-down territory for Plainedge with a minute 27 to go as well. Here's Shaver, left side. Leone open in the flats. Shaver will pull it down and try and run. Still on his feet. No. They say his knee did touch the turf. So he tried to change direction, drop the knee, and of course at high school level, it's an automatic. You're automatically down.
When your knee's down, your body's down in high school football. Up in the official right on top of it right there. The umpire seeing it, calling it dead.
That's a correct call too.
And now it appears they're letting the clock run a little bit here. It's 4th down and 15. Plainedge, interesting decision what to do with the ball here. I mean, you don't want to make a mistake that might give Bethpage some quick life before halftime.
And Plainedge does get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, so probably also something that factors into the decision here.
Could be a good time for a screen, a draw.
So 4th down. Some pressure coming down, all the way down, and nobody out there. A little miscommunication between Iadivio and Shaver, and a turnover on downs for Plainedge.
And if you're Coach McCoy and you're Bethpage Golden Eagles, you got to say to yourself, it's 7-0. We haven't gotten the ball done moved the ball very much, but that was a great stop right there. That's something you can build off of at halftime. You're able to get a stop and keep the game within at 7-0 right now.
Especially to the way that Plainedge had been moving the ball in their previous possession before the interception, and then they're starting in Bethpage territory with 3 minutes to go. That's a big stop for Bethpage. Yeah,
something definitely to be happy about if you're Coach McCoy and the Bethpage staff and the players. You're able to get a stop and get the ball back and see if you can maybe pop one here right at the end of the half.
So 30 seconds left, 7-0 Plainedge on top here in this first half. A little delayed handoff up the gut for Dalton. Dalton still on his feet. And we'll see if Bethpage elects to run one more play or if they have time to after a 2-yard gain.
I think they're going to let the clock run out here and kind of go to halftime. Both teams are happy to end the half the way it is right now.
Yep, time will run out before Bethpage could get another play off. So low-scoring, defensive, sort of black and blue type contest between Plainedge and Bethpage, and the Red Devils lead 7-0 here at the halftime break.
Both teams are coming into the game that allowed very few points, allowed defensively, very good defensive numbers, and that has come out to show today in the game. A very hard-hitting, physical, defensive struggle. And I think, as the second half comes, whoever makes the fewest mistakes will probably get out of here with a win.
So halftime here at Bethpage High School, we'll step aside. Plainedge leading Bethpage 7-0. Stay with us on Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone
516-403-2050.
Today's game on Varsity Media Sports Network is brought to you by Optimum Pest Control. Protect your home with a company you can trust. 15% off mosquito service until May 1st. Call them at 516-509-8362. And by the Steam Squad. Got dirt, got stains, got stink? Get the Steam Squad. Book now and get 10% off when you mention this ad. SteamSquad.com or 516-567-8966. At halftime, Plainedge leading Bethpage by a score of 7-0. Plenty more to come. Stay with us on Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Bethpage High School. Matt Short's Mike Hungerford with you as Plainedge leads Bethpage 7-0 as we get ready to start the second half here. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights in which Plainedge, was really controlling time of possession. The first drive where they were really able to get something going, they pushed down towards the goal line end of that first quarter, and a play that upon replay looked like a fumble on the field was ruled a non-fumble, and that this play right here with Joe Leone, that ended up being a Bethpage tackle, which looked pretty good, and then the Leone non-fumble ended up having a big impact later on in the game.
It was a great run by Leone. He found the cut there, was able to squeeze through, and we got down inside the Bethpage 10-yard line. And as he was going down, it looks like he might have put the ball on the carpet, but it's one of those plays. It's a boom, boom. It's very hard to see. Maybe his knee touched the ground on the way down. That's what the referee saw. And those are the breaks that happen in a football game, you know. And sometimes you got to make your own breaks, too, sometimes.
And then Dylan Pepe scored as we started the second quarter, continuing that drive. So right now, really, our only touchdown in the game came after that, what was a fumble but was not ruled a fumble. And outside of that, Plainedge, even though they've only scored 7 points at this point, they had interception deep into Bethpage territory. They got the ball back with about 3 minutes to go in the first half in Bethpage territory, and the Golden Eagles did a pretty good job defensively there. So Red Devils and Rob Shaver, you got to be saying, hey, we could be up 14-0, we could be up 21-0, and probably similarly for Bethpage, like, hey, guys, we could be down. We got to start finding some offense. Unfortunately, we're only down 7-0 so far.
Yeah, I think you look at the game so far, the Plainedge offensive and defensive lines have kind of dominated some of the play. Defensive line containing Bethpage's wishbone offense, and their offensive line creating enough on that one drive to have them score. We saw Coach Shaver's son Travis come in the game and play a little bit of quarterback at the end of the half. Interesting to see if he's going to continue there in the second half, how that goes. Give him a little spark with his running and passing ability. But Plainedge is going to get the ball here, right, man? And we'll see how this plays out. Bethpage would obviously like to stop him without giving him too much yardage on too many first downs to get the ball back in good field position. And I think that Bethpage needs to find something offensively that's going to loosen up the Plainedge defense a little bit, and and get their running game going a little bit. Maybe a pass, something that gets them to loosen up a little bit along the way.
And I wonder, as we get ready to begin this third quarter, we saw Travis Shaver, as you mentioned, on that last offensive series for Plainedge, and Rob Shaver said to us, game time decision. He's been a little banged up, nothing crazy. As this is taken by Iadivio. Iadivio running to the far side of the field and then brought down at the 20-yard line. And I wonder how much of Travis Shaver coming into this game was him being in Rob Shaver's ear through the first, 20 minutes of the first half, saying, "Hey, I want to get in, want to get in, want to get in."
Yeah, Iadivio would throw that interception, right, and I guess get Shaver in and get him a few reps in a few minutes. And interesting to see who comes out here in the second half. They're huddled on the sidelines right now, so we'll see when they bring it out. Excellent kickoff coverage there by Bethpage. Plainedge tried to kind of cross the field a little bit, Iadivio, and he got tackled. Great special teams play by Bethpage to start the half.
So right now it is Iadivio out at the quarterback spot with Lascala to his right in the backfield. And this is the same formation that they threw the interception on at the end of the first half. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as this begins the third quarter. Iadivio finds a hole out across the 30. First down run as he picks up about 11 on the first play from scrimmage to start the second half.
So similarly how they started the first half, for the beginning of the game, they came out with trying to establish quarterback run here, bringing Iadivio with a little power play right there, pulling that guard around and using the running back as a blocker. And then anytime you can have quarterback run, you're involving all 11 players now, right? The quarterback's out of handing the ball off. Quarterback run out of the spread is very difficult to defend.
Pat Whitten, as you said, the left guard pulling over, making a really nice block. Man in motion now is Gentili. He motions over to the left side. They run left side. And Bethpage has this well defended, but Iadivio continuing to churn his legs and managed to pick up 3 yards, turn that what looked like a 0 gain into about 3.
So interesting play design. They motion a man across the formation. They have 88 Lascala in the backfield as a blocker, and they run the quarterback. I guess you call it a quarterback sweep, quarterback power, and Bethpage Dalton there come down able to make the play, but physical play at the point of attack. And Adivio keeps his legs going and gets about 2.5 out of it.
And Vin Petzold came over and gave an extra block towards the end. Here's play action over to the left side for Franger. Franger's bottled up right away. Keep him inbound, so clock will continue to run. And it's 3rd down and a long 4 after that reception.
Familiar name, Franger, in Plainedge football history, right? His older brother was a great player at Plainedge High School. And give him a little throwing it out there, 2 in a month so you can make a man miss. Gets about 4 yards, and they have a pretty manageable 3rd and 4 here. Looks like they have a bunch formation here, moved out away from the lineman.
I mentioned his older brother, one of the top passers in Long Island history. Here's Joe Leone in motion, play right up the gut for Iadivio. Iadivio's got room to run, and then he's brought down in Bethpage territory at the 37-yard line.
Great play design there by Plainedge. They give him the bunch formation out to the right, bring some Bethpage defenders away. They motion the back out of the backfield, and they run draw at Iadivio for a big gain. Great play design.
Luke Galgano, the cornerback, got sort of caught on an island, and Iadivio coming right at him. Was able to get a few more after that, so 1st and 10 from the Bethpage 36 for Plainedge. Give to Leone left side. And Leone rolled out of 1 tackle and picked up 4.
Run the guard tackle again, bringing them over, pulling both the guard and the tackle. Quarterback reading it, giving the ball to Leone there, and able to get a gain of about 3 on 1st down.
2nd and 7.
We're a little over 3 minutes into this 3rd quarter. Plainedge leading 7-0 here at Bethpage. 2nd down and 7. This I formation again. Handoff to the deep back, and Pepe coming out of the crowd. Pepe driving toward the goal line. Touchdown! 33-yard touchdown for Dylan Pepe. 2nd of the day, and Plainedge on top 13-0, barring the extra point.
Good inside running right there by Pepe, and when he sees the hole, he puts the jets on, gets north and south, squares his pads, and takes it to the house. Great run by Pepe. A little 3-headed monster with the Plainedge running attack between Pepe and Leone and Iadivio at the quarterback spot.
Rojas on for the point after a low kick, but it is good. There's a flag down.
It's just kind of how things are going for Bethpage. They get a break in, and the player gets through. He misses the ball, doesn't touch it. Ball goes through the uprights for the extra point, and he hits the kicker.
Yeah, Anthony Falabella got through, and you saw on the replay there kind of the shoulder pads. Even though it wasn't hard or a lot of contact, there was still contact there.
Yeah, if he had made contact with the ball, things are kind of change a little bit. But it wasn't the case, and that's going to be tacked on the
return
on the kickoff right now, right?
Nick, want to get those fans?
That looks like it was called a 5-yard penalty, rather than the 15-yard variety. What a more flagrant or less flagrant, however you're going to look at it. And so they'll gain 5 yards on the kickoff, Plainedge, and kick from the 45.
See, if from our vantage point, if you look over to our left to the, I guess that would be the east end zone here, you see some fans there. Those are Plainedge fans, because here at Bethpage, they're only allowing home fans. So they've made the short ride and return out to the 20-yard line.
Those are loyal fans right there. Hanging on the fence. What they should be doing is they should be home listening to us on Varsity Media.
Exactly. I know it seems it's really up to the district, up to the school, but it seems like most of the schools, the games that we've done, they've done a pretty similar policy in that each student participating in the game is allowed 2 spectators, and that is band, cheerleaders, football, and I know Roddy McCoy was saying they open this up even to an additional 100 seniors, so any senior students that are Bethpage students are welcome at the game as well.
That's a nice touch right there, trying to get more of a student body involved with the game, and see what Bethpage brings here in their first series of the series here.
So run up the gut and about a 4-yard pickup. And really, that if you're in your wishbone and you're getting 4 yards, that, as you were talking about, opens up the playbook a little bit more and allows this offense to get into a bit of a rhythm.
Sure, not many offenses have great plays designed for 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 9, and definitely not the wishbone. They're in a nice situation right here at 2nd and 6.
So Corbo, the fullback, Martinez, the deep back here. It goes to Corbo, the up back, and Corbo's continuing to turn his feet. It's about a 2-yard pickup, and that'll make a 3rd down and 4 for Bethpage.
Not to say that any one play is more important than another in a football game, but right now you're down 14-0. It's 3rd and 4. The ball's on your own 27-yard line, and you could really use a first down right now if you're the Bethpage Golden Eagles.
Yeah, when you add up the sum total of what Bethpage been able to do offensively or hasn't been able to do offensively today, you're right, real big 3rd down coming up. Here's Schnabel rolling out to his right. Schnabel getting pursued. Schnabel going to throw on the run, and it is complete to Dalton. Pat Dalton pulling it down at the 35-yard line, and a huge 3rd down conversion for Bethpage.
That's why Patrick Dalton's your best player, right? Immediately the plays needed to be made. Play breaks down a little bit. Quarterback Schnabel's running for his life a little bit, and Dalton's able to make the reception inbounds, get his feet down, and get him a first down. Great play.
And how about Schnabel extending that play? Pepe was right on his back, and a good throw. It's not an easy throw to make across your body on the run like that, and he was able to find Dalton right at the 35-yard line.
Bethpage back in the full bone here.
The give is to Dalton, and Plainedge snuffed it out right away. It looked like Lascala had the first contact there.
The Plainedge is right side of the defensive line. Lascala, you have Tuzzo, you have Mojo over there. That's a pretty stout group on that side of the Plainedge defense.
Iadivio was also there in on the tackle. No gain on the play, so 2nd down and 10.
One of the difficulties teams have when they play against the wishbone is having to bring their safeties down into the box to play against that heavy running attack. And when you have the kind of players Plainedge has, they seem very good at it.
Now Dalton has to change directions quickly. Well defended by Plainedge. Anthony Morello in on the stop there, but there was a slew of Plainedge players to make that tackle.
Morello had a break in there and kind of turned the play back inside. Didn't make the tackle, didn't tackle the ball carrier, but the pursuit quickly got to him. And hallmarks of great defense are pursuit. You know, having the wherewithal to get to the football and bring a bunch of hats there and punish the ball carrier a little bit and bring him down.
So Morello the first there, but then Dom Antonacci made this stop. Antonacci, a junior middle linebacker. We'll have a timeout. Bethpage here, 3rd down and 11 coming up. And Rob Shaver was talking about Antonacci and a wrestler, 170-pound kid, and he said he's a real good tackler. We've been looking for a spot to play him because he plays so hard. And when you're looking for a spot to play somebody and they end up being your middle linebacker, you know they're doing something right.
You obviously got to put a special player in there and someone who can run sideline to sideline a little bit, plus take on offensive linemen on uncovered gaps. It's pretty special player.
We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, Senior Day here at Bethpage, and as with everything this whole season, a little bit different than in years past, but these seniors who were not sure if they were going to have a football season so far to this point, even from the Bethpage side of things, maybe have surpassed preseason expectations, and happy for the seniors, not only here at Bethpage, but all across Nassau County, all across Long Island, that are able to have at least somewhat of a season when in November, December, we weren't sure if those things were happening.
It was certainly going to be. There's certainly been a whole bunch of loss here because of the pandemic, and to be able to get some back is really good.
And Ryan Resnick, who you saw in that last shot, a senior, his dad Bennett Resnick there. Bennett, the wrestling coach as well here, and very involved in the middle school program. So he's coached all these players as well. Here's 3rd down and 11. Schnabel will throw it on the run, bat it around, and almost pulled down by James Martin, but Stephen Frenger was able to knock that one away on 3rd and 11.
Great play by Frenger, and keeping the play alive, trying to make a play for Bethpage, and just falls incomplete.
So 4:48 to go in the third. Only a 2-score game. We will see. It looks like Bethpage is going to punt it away. So Schnabel on the punt. Well covered by Bethpage. Really, really good job in coverage by the Golden Eagles.
Nice job there by Plainedge, fielding the ball, trying to save some yardage. That bounce ball usually tends to roll towards your own goal line. You save a little bit of yardage. Excellent punt coverage there by Bethpage.
And again, Luke Galgano on that stop there, really awesome. As we take a look at Nick Jans, that's the Bethpage High School principal, showing the school spirit. We could change it, right? From Gucci down to the socks, he's Bethpage down to the socks. So 4:38 to go in the third quarter. Plainedge coming off a drive where they scored a touchdown. Dylan Pepe has had both touchdowns today for the Plainedge Red Devils. Gentili goes down in motion. Here is Iadivio. Iadivio rolling off one tackle, but the help defense comes over and pursues. Resnick and David.
Physical play right there by David. You know, it's the backyard brawl, right? Two teams going at it, and a lot of running and a lot of physical play, hard tackling, and Bethpage is not gonna offer it up too easy to that crosstown rivals here.
Pick up a 5 on a first down for Iadivio.
So it looks like to me that Plainedge's halftime adjustment has been, we're going to go heavy quarterback run.
Give to Leone is good enough for a first down.
You know, quarterback run is very difficult to stop. You know, Matt, it's very complicated because an extra player, an extra hat in the box running with the ball, and you have to match that. Most teams have the quarterback as a handoff guy on running plays, but when he's in the running game, very difficult, especially with Iadivio's size.
And you mentioned how stingy both of these defenses have been. Bethpage coming into today allowing 8.75 points per game, 2 shutouts on the season. The only time before this they allowed more than 1 touchdown was their loss to Manhasset. That's a good pickup on first down. And similarly for Plainedge, right, they're allowing 6.5 points per game coming into this, so less than a touchdown per contest.
Very good defense over the season being played by both teams, and in a difficult season to be really good at things because the practice time is shortened and how things are being done is shortened. So great job by both these teams.
La Scala going in motion, 2nd and 5. Bethpage line shifts down to the right side. Give to Pepe, and Bethpage has it bottled up. No gain.
Plainedge taking a little bit out of Bethpage's playing book double tight there rather than a wishbone with a power eye set. And they shifted the one tight end over to create an unbalanced line. And the defensive front of Bethpage was more than up to the challenge right there.
Now, Mike, I think one of the other things that conversations I've had talking to a lot of different coaches, whether it be basketball or football this year, is teams that have senior leaders and a lot of returning guys maybe had a bit of a leg up early part of the season, as we'll get to finish that point in a second. Here's a pitch to Leone, left side, and Leone gets hit hard right as he crosses the 45-yard line. It's good enough for a first down, though, and that'll move the chains. So to that point, it's almost more impressive what Rob Shaver and Plainedge have been able to do so far because of how young they are. If you look at this team, only 5 or 6 seniors, and a lot of the guys, we were doing this at halftime, you're looking at the guys that play, and you're like, he's back in the fall, he's back in the fall, he's back in the fall. So a lot of youth on this Plainedge team and the success they've still had with that.
Yeah, I was a little unaware of how few seniors they actually have on the roster and how young they really are. And this is very impressive by them with the youth of their team given the situations of the pandemic.
Here is La Scala motioning. Loaded backfield, though. Play action, a keeper for Iadivio. Iadivio is wrapped up in the backfield. Brian Luzzy dragged him down for a loss. And it'll be second down for Plainedge.
Great play by Luzzy there. They go a little naked bootleg right there. A little naked boot by the quarterback. They must have seen something from the coaches up in the press box, looking at the Bethpage defense, and maybe there wasn't anybody home on the backside, but Luzzy answers the bell right there and comes up with a big play.
A nice job by the junior, who's a lacrosse commit for Stony Brook, to stay grounded and make that tackle. So a loss of 2, second down and 12. Give is to Pepe left side. Pepe trying to follow the blocker of Joe Leone. He's able to pick up about 2 yards there, and it'll be third down and 10 coming up. Final minute of play in this third quarter.
Nice tackle right there by Bethpage. Number 10, Mike Corbo making the play. And you can see how physical the game is on the line of scrimmage and in the box. Both teams are feeling the physical nature of play here and wearing each other down a little bit.
Timeout taken by Plainedge. With 35 seconds left to go in this third quarter.
Interesting down to football right here. Your third down, ball's on the 46-yard line of Plainedge. If you're Bethpage and you can get a stop and make them punt the football, you might get the ball back in pretty good field position depending on the punting situation by Plainedge. But if you give another first down and then you stop them, you really lose the field position battle going into the fourth quarter. Both teams trying to figure out what's going to happen here, almost at the end of the quarter, and Plainedge obviously at 3rd and 10 trying to get something to keep the drive going.
So offense has not been as positive, so to speak, as it was in the first half, where they were moving the ball pretty well. Bethpage has done a better job defensively containing some of their runs. The lone second half touchdown from Plainedge came on a big run by Dylan Pepe, but again, the Golden Eagles seem to have made some adjustments themselves and are reading this rushing attack a little bit better than they were.
They certainly are a little bit, and I think Plainedge's philosophy, thought process is right now is that if they're up 14-0 almost the end of the third quarter, and it's not, they're not going to lose the game. They're going to force Bethpage to win it. They're going to play close to the vest, power running, and hang their hat on their defense.
So third down and 10, trips right to the near side.
Bunch formation here. They motion this guy out. Look for quarterback draw again.
It is Iadivio. He throws to Leone to the right side. Leone has enough for a first down across the 40. Breaks one off. Down to the 20. 10, 5, touchdown. Joe Leone, a 54-yard catch and run touchdown for Plainedge. So on 3rd and 10, they go with a little pass out in the flats, and Leone does the rest.
Yep, they throw it into the bubble formation. They motion the back out. They throw it to Leone, and he catches it, and off he goes. And gets some good blocking, and when he sees that window, boy, he can get north-south fast.
Like, that was the first time that we had seen that formation from Plainedge today. They break it out, and they use it perfectly. Point after is not only blocked, just caught right up by Luke Carney, right in the midsection.
Yeah, so, high school football, it's a dead play after it's over, and then they get a block. You can see the Bethpage guys are still playing, though, still playing hard. and but they're in a little bit of a hole here, down 20-0. And as you said before, Plainedge have been in a similar formation before and kind of went quarterback draw there, and instead they throw it out to Leone, and he's able to make a big play out of it.
So with just 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Golden Eagles have their work cut out for them. They haven't moved the ball incredibly effectively today, and we might see them have to go to the air a little bit more than we've seen them in the passing game this afternoon.
When you're a team, obviously Bethpage has started the year in a spread, more of a spread look, and they kind of morphed themselves at halftime of the Manhasset game, going back to the wishbone with the traditional offense they've run for many decades here, and they've been very successful at it. But when you're down 20-0 with a little more than 12 minutes to play in the game, you're going to have to make some action here and maybe change up and go back to some spread looks and do something to get some points on the board rather quickly.
This is a series we were talking about, back in the day when Rob Shaver was a newer head coach on the scene, that he thought they would never beat Bethpage. It's been a series more controlled by Plainedge of late. As Dalton's got a little trouble on that bounce, takes it at the 10-yard line. Dalton thought if he's able to get by those blockers, there's a big hole there. But again, that recent series, last Bethpage win over Plainedge, you got to go back to 2016. It was actually at Hofstra in the semifinals on November the 4th. They knocked off Plainedge 41-14, wound up losing to Wantagh in the county championship game that year.
Plainedge's been on quite a bit of a run as of late. Obviously, led defending Long Island champions and a great program. Rebuilding year after year, as you can see here, pretty young but pretty talented.
So 1st and 10, Bethpage, 15 seconds left in the quarter, and looks like we're going to have a timeout.
I think Plainedge called timeout. They couldn't get themselves lined, and possibly couldn't get themselves lined up correctly. I'm not sure who called that timeout. Yep, Plainedge. Bethpage came out in a formation maybe they had either practiced a lot or had seen in previous games and had a little difficulty lining up. And want to show. I think if you're Plainedge, you're playing such good defense, you want to get it right. Because once you get lined up and you can go, you're going to be in a pretty good spot.
So Plainedge has now used 2 of their timeouts in the last less than a minute or so of gameplay, because they used the timeout right before that 3rd and 10 play, which led to the touchdown, and they just burn one defensively here.
I think if you're Plainedge, you're okay using it and wanting to get it right because you're ahead by 3 scores, and saving them is not worth the big play given up on being misaligned here.
So 1st down and 10. The give, which is to Martinez here. Martinez rolls out of 1 tackle. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. So, Plainedge leading Bethpage 20-0. As we come to the end of the third quarter, we'll be back 4th quarter coming up on Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Today's game is brought to you by Optimum Pest Control. Protect your home with a company you could trust. 15% off mosquito service until May 1st. You can call them at 516-509-8362. And Steam Squad. Got dirt, got stains, got stink? Get the Steam Squad. Book now and get 10% off when you mention this ad. SteamSquad.com, 516-567-8966. We'll be back in a moment. 4th quarter coming up on Varsity Media Sports Network.
Island sports fans, now is the time to ensure you don't miss out on your athletes' games. Varsity Media is available to live stream any game, any event, any level, anytime. Reach out to Varsity Media today to learn more about live streaming services. 516-403-2050 or visit us at www.varsitymedia.net.
Bethpage 2nd and 8 as we begin this fourth quarter. Schnabel rolling to his right. Schnabel trying to get it off as he was being tackled, and he was able to get the ball away. No flag down for grounding, as it looked like James Martin, the tight end, was in the area.
Bethpage trying to hit up a little stagger and go out here route by number 46 and by Dalton, and Plainedge was on it, and we're kind of lucky Bethpage a little bit. He threw it out here, and I guess the officials thought there was a receiver nearby, and I think the Plainedge coaches were kind of looking for an intentional grounding call.
So that'll make it 3rd down and 8. And again, we were saying Bethpage will have to go to the air a little bit more. Schnabel has a receiver. It's Dalton. Dalton stood up by Pepe, forced out of bounds at the 29-yard line, so it'll be about 4 yards short of a first down.
Pepe, nice play right there. You know, ball's caught. I really thought he was going to Dalton was able to get a first down right there, and all of a sudden Pepe comes in and is able to get their best player, Bethpage best player on the ground, and now it's 4th and 5, and it looks like Bethpage is going to go for it here.
Yeah, down by 3 scores in the fourth quarter. Bethpage going for it on 4th down. Spread look. Schnabel in a little bit of trouble. Schnabel going to throw to the near sideline, and it's, even if it was caught, it was out of bounds as James Martin was the closest to it. So a turnover on downs, and Plainedge takes it over on downs at the Bethpage 29.
A lot of defensive pressure from the Plainedge front. A little bit of blitzing it in, adding an extra hat on the blitz, and Bethpage were kind of struggling a little bit to block it up and turnover on downs.
And again, you've mentioned it at times today. Just both more or less the same guys, but the offense and defensive line for Plainedge has really set the tone in this one today.
Yeah, they sure have. They've played really well defensively, very stout against the wishbone. They opened up some good holes for the running lanes.
There's a run off to the right side, a good pickup on first down by Iadivio.
Iadivio getting the ball there on that guard tackle read, right? They pull the guard and tackle. He reads it, pulls the ball out of the running back's belly, and follows that guard tackle around the corner for an 8-yard gain.
That'll make it 2nd down and 2. A little more than a minute gone by in this fourth quarter. And we saw Travis Shaver for one series, but outside of that, it's been Iadivio, and here's Pepe again. Pepe's got 2 touchdowns today for Plainedge. And Iadivio's done a pretty admirable job for his varsity start. Jumped into a rivalry game and playing well so far today.
I think he's played great for first time playing and having to play in a game in the backyard brawl against Bethpage. You know Bethpage is going to give them the best game they can, and so is Plainedge. And to jump in that rivalry, he's played very well.
Here's a give for Pepe again. Pepe finding the end zone for the 3rd time this afternoon. And Plainedge, maybe they go for 2 after that. So Dylan Pepe again, 3 rushing touchdowns this afternoon after missing last week's game.
Very, very impressive performance there by junior Dylan Pepe. Very, very impressive.
So Plainedge will just go for the point after, as Rojas is in. Snap is down, kick is up, has plenty of leg, and it's good. So 27-0, Plainedge leads Bethpage. 9:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Stay with us on Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Bethpage High School, Howie Voigts Field. Matt Shortis, Mike Hungerford with you. It's Plainedge was leading 7-0 at halftime, and they have opened this one up in the second half. Have looked very stout offensively. And again, capitalized off short field a moment ago with Bethpage kind of in a position where they had to go for it on fourth down. Nice return here. Out near midfield for Luzzy. And good starting field position for Bethpage. And still looking for their first score of the day.
And there it is, Matt. You know, you look at the score and you look at the scoreboard and you see 27-0, and in some ways not really indicative of the play. You know, I mean, at the last touchdown, Bethpage goes for it deep in their own territory. So sometimes the score isn't always matched to the play. I thought Bethpage so far has been pretty good with the physical play of Plainedge. They battled back and forth, and obviously the Plainedge's offensive line has really risen up and done a great job this afternoon opening up holes for the running backs all day.
So Schnabel and the Bethpage offense will go back to work as the sun has really come out in force. Handoff Dalton left side. Dalton will fall forward for a couple here.
Yep, turned into a beautiful afternoon here at Howie Voigts Field. Coach Voigts, one of the all-time winningest coaches in Long Island history.
Yep.
Nassau County and Long Island history. Coach Voigts here for many, many years. Had many excellent teams. And followed up by Coach Dill, Erwin Dill, long-time assistant, and then coach here for quite a number of years after Coach Voigts.
And Roddy McCoy as well on those staffs as well, as he was an assistant under both Howie Voigts and Erwin Dill. Got his teaching job here in 98, and he asked to work with the quarterbacks. Has a run right up the middle.
I think at this point in the game, you look at the Plainedge. If you're Bethpage, you're looking to find something to watch on the film, something to establish going forward, and try to get some points on the board. And don't get too crazy. The game's probably not a winnable situation right now, but don't get too crazy getting out of your comfort zone, and kind of stick with what you do and try to be successful at it, and something to build off for next week.
3rd down and 4. Give to the up man, and that's a nice job getting some extra yardage there by the fullback Mike Corbo. And he's just a hair shy of a first down.
That's the wishbone look there, 3-3-3, right? But it only gets you 9, and now you're at 4th and 1. So obviously go for it again here if you're Bethpage trying to establish some running game.
So Bethpage again will go for it, 4th down and short out of that bone. Hand off to Corbo. Corbo looks like he fell forward and got enough. Just enough for a first down based on where the official is.
Good little inside run there, just enough for the first down, able to move the chains. Another set of downs for the Bethpage offense.
First and 10. Schnabel will throw. Pass intended for James Martin. A little too strong. Dom Antonacci, the linebacker, in coverage.
Good coverage by Plainedge right there. That's the difficulty of defending the wishbone, right? Run, inside run, outside run. You're a secondary player. You got your eyes in the right spots, and you're like, coach, I hear. I know they're going to throw it eventually. And there it is. And it's on you, and you got to match up, and you got to have your coverage. And Plainedge, like Bethpage, very well coached defensively. Coach Shaver's staff did an excellent job The wishbone is not easy to prepare for.
Brings up 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Again, the handoff or pitch to the right side, for Martinez. Martinez upended as there were 3 Plainedge players there. Antonacci among them, along with Steven Frenger. And I believe Jay Lascala was the third of that trio that was right there.
Great leverage right there on the option play, but right there by the Plainedge defense. Keeping the leverage against the ball carrier, keeping them inside in front of them, and getting them on the floor for a pretty good loss.
And while we have a moment, this game kind of got added to our schedule a little bit later in the week, so short notice. Sometimes it's hard to put together a whole broadcasting crew, but want to thank John Franchi, the Bethpage AD, Nick Jantz, the Bethpage principal, Mr. Schneider, who's the Bethpage superintendent, and the Plainedge Booster Club, who all played a part in allowing this broadcast to come together and get to you all. Pitch to the left side for Dalton, and Dalton eaten up by the sophomore Shane Mosier. Again, we mentioned his name a few times today, team leader in tackles as a sophomore.
Mosier, very impressive today. Played on the wide side of the field there, taking the pitch, coming downhill, scraping off blocks and making the play. One of the more impressive sophomores I've seen play this year and the last few years.
So that will make it 4th down.
4th and 17.
As Bethpage going the wrong way right now, and Schnabel will punt this one away. High, shallow, end over end. And you heard everybody from the Plainedge side just say, poison, poison, get away. There wasn't even anybody in a Red Devil uniform within 10 yards of that kick. And Plainedge will have it. 5 minutes left to go in this one with a 27-0 lead.
Yeah, obviously the Bethpage now, you're kind of playing for pride a little bit right now, right? And maybe a little opportunity that you may have to play them again in the playoffs.
And Bethpage takes a timeout. With 5 minutes to go in this one, we'll come back for plenty more 4th quarter action coming your way on Varsity Media Sports Network.
Media is available to broadcast your team's big event. Rivalry game,
Off the screen. 3 ball is good.
senior night. Whatever the occasion, we enhance the viewing experience with our productions. Don't settle for a boring stream. Call today for more information about our services. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Back to work for this Plainedge offense, and we have some substitutions in.
Carlo DeGiacomi on the carry.
As Darren Hill Jr. coming in at quarterback.
So you have both teams here substituting freely now, heading into the last
few minutes.
Last 5 minutes of play, and that's great to get other kids in the game. They come to practice every day, right? Work really hard. Scout team players, second team players, younger players, and get them a chance to get some good reps here in the backyard brawl.
Nice run off to the right side. Now that was DeGiacomi. Carlo DeGiacomi, a junior, 5'7", 155 pounds. And Bethpage, especially after last week, they had to bring up so many guys from the junior varsity, and they were instrumental in a win against Limbrook. Give them some more time this afternoon.
I thought last week they did a great job with that situation. The Bethpage staff, they brought up those younger kids. They got them some practices, kind of know when to line up, what to do. They kept it simple for kept the game plan simple and got a nice win.
Well, 1st and 10 for Plainedge. Just outside the 40, a give to the left side. And that will go for a few-yard gain. And along with that last week for Bethpage, they decided to pull a bunch of guys up from the JV. And then later in the week, it kind of just worked out for them, in a sense, is that Roosevelt had to cancel the game on account of having too many players or a player test positive. So they ended up not having a JV game last week. which again allowed them in turn to have so many guys up on the varsity level a week ago.
Sure, things got to work out in interesting ways for you, especially this right now, this period with the COVID situations and some cancellations and quarantining. It was nice for Bethpage to be able to make that happen for themselves.
So a week from today, on the 16th, Plainedge will have their last regular season game home against Floral Park. Meanwhile, Bethpage has their work cut out for them because they have to go on the road to Roosevelt. And a game that might be a must-win game at the time to get into that top 4 and earn themselves a playoff spot.
Sure, right now, a little difference in playoffs this year in Nassau County. Rather than the traditional 8-team format, they're going with the, many years ago, for years, we were in the what we called the Big Four format of only 4 teams per conference making it. It's been a return to the Big Four format. And so, getting in that top 4 is pretty critical, obviously, to play on. And in Conference 3, there's quite a few good teams trying to battle it out for those spots.
Right now, Manhasset, the lone undefeated, so they seem to be in good shape. Plainedge, after a win today, also in pretty good situation. Here's a run off the left side, down to the 20-yard line, 10. And that is where DeGiacomi is wrapped up.
Yeah, Plainedge with their reserves getting some great time right now. Number 68 is playing fullback in the backfield and gets a carry before. And a nice block here. I think we have a flag.
So we'll see what the marker is. So after the nice run by DeGiacomi, the penalty marker brings it back.
So that's a spot foul, so it'll be a 1st and 11 here for Plainedge. And they're in victory formation right now, and they're going to take a knee, and I'll have to do this a couple times. And coach's favorite formation right there, victory formation.
Again, so Plainedge comes into today. They came in 3-1. They, again, 10 minutes between these two teams. They warmed up at their own field, hopped on the bus, came up to Seaford Oyster Bay, got off the bus, and it took them a little while to get going. The first couple series for both teams was 3 and out. Plainedge put together a long drive in that second or third series of the game. Almost had a fumble near the goal line, but they make that touchdown stand, and in the second half, they really started to put a hold on this game, find the end zone, and limited Bethpage defensively the whole day.
Yeah, Plainedge kind of settled in after a kind of an interesting start, trying to figure out what they wanted to run and what would work against the Bethpage defense, which has been very good all season long. And they got their legs under them, got a touchdown for halftime, and I thought played a really dominating second half. Really came out and really put their stamp on the game and took control of it. And very good job by a young Plainedge team, and great work on their offensive and defensive lines.
So again, Plainedge moves to 4-1 on the season. Bethpage drops to 3-2 as Plainedge comes on the road and defeats the Golden Eagles of Bethpage by a final score of 27-0. So that'll do it for everybody involved in our broadcast. For our producer, Nick Liuzzi, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, and of course my partner, Mike Hungerford, I'm Matt Shorta saying so long, and we'll catch you next time. Plainedge victorious today, 27-0.